Oh man, look at this today. All rainy and dreary and ugh. Hey, but let's brighten it up a little bit. Or should I say, let's spice up the day with a little bit of spice shrimp sushi. Here's how I'm going to make it. Our basic ingredients are just that, very basic. I'll use white rice with vinegar, because that's what sushi means, is rice with vinegar. I don't have rice vinegar, so I'm just using regular vinegar. A little bit of salt. I'm going to add some lemon pepper to it because it's shrimp, and a little soy sauce, and of course our shrimp. And what I'm going to do with these is, once they thaw out, I'm going to peel them, devein them, and then cook them ahead of time, and I'll make our rice. And then of course I'm going to need some sushi sheets, some seaweed sheets, our sushi mat, a spoon, some little cups for our dipping sauce, and I'm going to use the soy sauce, a little bit of sweet and sour, and because I'm on the boat I have a pre-made wasabi sauce. Hey, but best of all, wait till you see this. I found a piece of scrap wood. I made a little boat out of it, drilled a couple little holes. Voila, I have a sushi serving boat. Alright, now I decided I want to try something new here. So I've got some water, and I've added the lemon pepper to it, some salt, a little bit of soy sauce, and I'm going to cook the shrimp in this. I'm going to leave the shells on because that's going to have some flavor to it, and then I'm going to use some of that water to cook my rice in. Let's see how it turns out. Now when we're cooking our shrimp, don't overcook it. Once this comes to a boil, I'm going to shut it off and just let it sit for a few minutes. It doesn't take long to cook shrimp. Now remember, we want to keep this water, so I'm just going to set the shrimp in here to cool so that I can clean them and get them ready to make our filling for our spice shrimp. And to cook our rice, which we have nice hot liquid here already. Now I use, as it turns out, it's about 3 cups of water to 1 cup of rice, the way I cook it. Now I don't have a pressure cooker, so I don't have a good lid either, so I kind of let that just steam away. Oh boy, look at that, just turned out perfect. Alright, we'll bring that to a boil and add our rice. Oh, and don't forget to add the vinegar. Now I didn't do that when we cooked the shrimp. I don't want the shrimp with the vinegar, but now we're going to add that to our rice. Alright guys, I think we're ready to start rolling. So I'm going to get my rice, and I use a little more than a half a cup of rice per sheet. That's what I've found works out pretty good for me. And I use 2 spoons to kind of smooth things out here. You just need a thin layer of rice. What I've found, my hardest part is getting all the edges covered properly. But you know, a little bit of practice and you'll get it. Not that I'm a professional at it, I just kind of like doing it. Now, I called this spice shrimp because I was going to dice the shrimp up and lay it out, but afterwards I decided not to. What I did is I added the lemon pepper and some wasabi to this, and it really tasted good. I had to sample one first. So now I'm just going to lay these out across here. Roll this up nice. Now you see I've got it about more than halfway across. Nice tight little roll. And when we get done with this, I'm going to set it in the refrigerator for about 5 minutes just to let it all set up. Then we'll come back and slice them. I see the amount of rice I made, the 1 cup of rice, raw rice, will make 4 rolls here. Another thing you can do with the shrimp, you can just kind of cut it in half here, make it spread out a little bit further, which I need to do. Not too tight. Now let those sit in the refrigerator for a few minutes and slice them up. Alright, our sushi rolls are ready to cut. Now it'd be nice if I had a long thin blade to cut with, but this is really about the best blade I have. The French knife, that's too thick here. It's going to gum up with the rice. And the same with my boning knife. So we're just going to use this. First thing is we're going to cut it in half. See, I kind of have to saw. That's not really good. Then we cut this in half. Then we cut in half again. And if you need to, you can rinse the knife off. This way we get nice even rows for everybody. And we're going to use our little sushi boat. Although it turned out nice. Of course it did. So my little sushi boat for a single serving. And our dips. And we're ready to go. And rather than say bon appetit, let's say boat appetit, because we're on a boat, we're eating off a boat. And check out the Boat Appetit Facebook page too. There's a lot of good stuff on there. Alright, now for the real test, guys. Cooking the rice with the shrimp broth, a great idea. Very, very flavorful. Bon appetit!